Hello and welcome. So in this particular video, we'll have a look at Goldman Sachs Engineering Campus Hiring Program. That's specifically for 2021 and 2022 passouts. So without any further ado, let's dive into the video. So let's get into the overview. So let's just have a brief understanding of what the program is. Let's get into the details later. So first up, the opportunities provided are analysts and summer internships. So there are two opportunities provided respectively for year of passings. So the year of passing is 2021 and 2022. Now the location for both of these are going to be Bengaluru. So if you're from any other part of India, you would try understanding that you probably would have to shift over here. So location is going to be Bengaluru. So the deadline for your registration to be closed is February 2021. That is 8th of February 2021. So the applications are already open. The registration link for the applications are already open. So you probably would want to fill it up pretty soon. So if you haven't filled it up already, you can have a look at the video which we have already done, the step-by-step registration process, and you can have a smooth understanding of how the registration process works. So the assessment for the same is going to be held between mid of February and mid of March, somewhere around 15th February or 15th March. So everybody might not get the same dates. So the dates may be different, right? So if your friend or if your colleague does not get the same date, you might not want to be worried about that. So after your assessments are finished entirely, you'll be having your interviews. So it will be somewhere around in March and April is what they have announced in their official sites. So next up, let's have a look at the eligibility criteria. So in the eligibility criteria, as I've already told, this is specifically for 2021 and 2022 year of passing. But this program is also open for all engineering students in and across India from pre-final year and final year graduation and post-graduation. All right. So over here, the small catch is that 2021 analyst role is only for candidates who are a graduate of 2021, right? So if you are a person who's getting graduated in year 2021, then you will be provided with the analyst position. So it's a full-time hire opportunity. The intake would be somewhere around May and June. So if you're a person who is getting graduated in 2022 year, so you'd be given an opportunity to get into an internship program, that is a summer internship program. So the intake will be somewhere around April or July. All right. So this is the respective roles or opportunities which you'll have to keep in mind. So next up, let's have a look at the recruitment process. So how exactly the recruitment process works. So first, you would obviously have to apply for the program. Then the assessments would be taken care of. And after the assessments, you'll be having the interview. And finally, you'll end up in the respective opportunities for the respective years, right? Respective year of passing. So what we'll see now is related to the test pattern. That is the first round of aptitude test, what we had in the previous recruitment drive. So these were the sections what we had in the aptitude test. So normally in aptitude, you'll be having three basic parts, right? So you'll be having quantitative aptitude, verbal ability, and logical ability. So here they have split the quantitative ability, that is numerical computation and numerical reasoning is what they have split up cons into. And then logical part, they have split it into three sections, three subsections is what I can call. So abstract reasoning, diagrammatic reasoning, and logical reasoning. And then verbal ability, again, you have got comprehension and subjective writing ability part, right? So accordingly, you have got the number of questions also over there. So apart from this, the things what you might want to know is that there was intra-sectional navigation which was allowed in the previous recruitment, which means that between the questions in a particular section, you would have been able to switch, right? So if you are writing the first question, let's imagine that there are you're writing a numerical computation and there are 8 questions. So from first question, you would have been allowed to go to the 8 questions or something like that, right? So intra-sectional navigational was allowed, but intersectional navigation was not allowed, which means directly from a numerical computation to logical reasoning, that navigation was not possible. And when it comes to the mark schemes or the marking scheme of MCQs, you had +5 for correct answers and -2 for incorrect answers. So you'd have to be pretty careful in answering the questions over here. You cannot randomly take the answers. So please do keep that in mind. And when it comes to your subjective section, that is your writing ability section, you had 10 marks per question. So you had 2 questions over there, and that particular section contained 20 marks. All right, so these are the key takeaways, what you'll have to understand from the previous year's recruitment. Now, why exactly are we looking at the previous year's recruitment is because you'll get a brief understanding of how the pattern was and what were the sections, how are you supposed to prepare. So we are anticipating that this time also it is going to be the same thing. But they, if the company decides, they may also change the pattern, which they'll be informing before the exam starts, or just in the official websites as well if they want, right? So if you want to refer something, I think this would be the best bet. So next up, let's have a look at the syllabus for the aptitude test, what was there in the previous year's recruitment. So as I told, we will be briefly giving out the syllabus related to first quantitative aptitude. Next up will be the logical ability part, and then the verbal ability part. All right. So when it comes to quantitative ability or quantitative aptitude, we have got topics like time and work, permutation, combination, probability, ratios, partnership, and investments. Right. So when it comes to logical reasoning, we have got visual reasoning, diagrammatic puzzles, coding and decoding. So series questions we have got. When it comes to verbal ability, we just have a reading comprehension and the subjective part when it comes to the actual section. So these would be the syllabus which you would have to be prepared on, at least according to the previous year's recruitment. So next up, let's have a look at the frequently asked questions. So first up is the package. So in the official sites, they have not revealed what the package is. So if you try reading the document of instructions, what they've given in the registration page, so they've told that the package would be announced, or they would be telling what the package is or the stipend is related to the internships only to the candidates who are shortlisted. So they're not going to be they're not going to do a full-blown announcement in the official sites. They would be mailing informations related to the package to the candidates who are shortlisted. So that's the first thing what we wanted to address. Next thing is that everybody, all the streams, okay, irrespective of whether you're from a circuitry or a non-circuitry background, you would be allowed to take part in Goldman Sachs opportunity, the respective opportunity. So all streams are welcome from engineering related to graduation and post-graduation from 2021 and 2022 year of passing. Okay, so you do have to keep in mind that aptitude test was only the first round when it comes to the previous recruitment drives. So there was also a coding round. So if you're from a non-circuitry background, you would have to be pretty careful, and you'll have to be pretty much prepared about the same. So next up, is the test going to happen online or offline? So it is definitely going to happen virtually. So you'll be having a online test and also an online interview process. All right, so you do not have to go to any centers to write this particular examination. So they've also provided a support email ID for you to make use of it in their official website. So if you have any detailed query related to your any document, or if you want to have an understanding of why the registration step is not working only for you, so all those in detail personal queries can be addressed probably in this using this particular mail ID. So if you have any queries, please make sure you use this particular mail ID. And last but not the least, the registration process. So if you haven't already registered for Goldman Sachs engineering campus hiring program, so you can make use of the video which we have already launched related to the detailed step-by-step process for registration, so that you'll have a smooth understanding of how the registration process works. All the best, guys.
Hey YouTube, how are you doing? Stay tuned to Facebook for more awesome videos. Don't forget to subscribe.